All right, today you're jumping in with me in the Raptor, and I'm gonna take you on a driving tour of one of the most desirable suburbs in all of North Dallas, and it's not Frisco. We're talking about highly rated schools, high rated for safety. It's got great infrastructure and one of the fastest growing right now in the North Dallas area. We're talking about Prosper, Texas, and I actually just grabbed a iced Americano here from La Finca Coffee and Bakery right here. It's a good little spot. We're kind of like right on the border of where Prosper meets McKinney. So Custer Road and 380. It's a major corridor. You can kind of see this is a little bit of a newer strip mall, but even right over off in the corner, probably can't see, but there's a meat market called Wild Fork. That's pretty good. So you can get some different types of game meat and your regular steaks and chicken and all that other stuff. But if you want some of that exotic meat, you can go there. And then of course, you have everything you need, nail salon, and I don't know, everything else that's in here to go shopping. But I'm gonna take you down 380. We're gonna show you all the development that's happening in 380, talk about what is affecting the home prices. We'll even take you a little bit through Windsong Ranch and Star Trail, two of the most popular master plan communities there. We're gonna talk about some of the commercial development on top of that, schools, everything you need to know about Prosper, and then we'll probably stop for a little bite to eat as well. So let's go for a ride. All right, now we're heading out onto 380 and we're going to be heading west. We just hit the border of Custer Road right there, which is pretty much the border of Prosper. And this is going to be a nice little drive because Prosper is almost a nice little perfect rectangle when you look at it on the map. So we're going to go down 380 and loop around and end up on the Tollway and show you some of the projects that are happening. Now you'll notice, first of all, we just hit that little section of commercial right around Custer and 380, but now look at where we're at here as far as open fields. So still we got hay bales over here in this field off to the right. We do have a subdivision over here called Dove Creek. So that's a cool little spot, pretty well established neighborhood there. And as we head down 380, you'll notice it's 3 lanes on each side. So this is the more established side of 380 from the tollway going towards McKinney and 75. It's been this way for quite some time now. You'll see off to the right, they're putting in some new commercial, some strip malls right there. And then again, off to the left, you got some fields still. So there's still a lot of room for growth and development, and they're really starting to work on this east side of Prosper now. I mean, but everything's pretty much brand new. Like, look at Circle K gas station. Now, do you have Circle K's? I'm sure you did, right? Growing up?
I can't remember.
I had a Circle K in Stephenville, which, you know, I don't know. So it's interesting to see them around here now. It's kind of like H-E-B. Like, we had an H-E-B in Stephenville 25 years ago. Notice more commercial buildings going up on the right-hand side, and then we hit fields again. But growing up in Stephenville, Texas, it's a couple hours south of Dallas, and we had an H-E-B, 30 years ago. It's small grocery store. Nobody had ever heard of H-E-B, and now it's like the biggest, baddest grocery store in Texas. I mean, they've got barbecue, they have bars, they've got live music on the weekends. It's kind of crazy. Now we're passing up over here. This is the main commercial spot that really put Prosper on the map. It's Gates of Prosper. You'll see there's a Dick's, a Sporting Goods, there's Walmart's, and they're actually just finishing up a Walmart Supercenter as well. But inside of here, you've got restaurants, you got Panera, First Watch. Maybe we'll stop at First Watch to grab a quick bite, but the other location, Nordstrom Rack, that they're building a whole new section of the Gates of Prosper on that side. This Target right here, and you see we're going over this massive overpass. That's going over Preston Road. So, of course, Preston Road, one of the most exclusive, you could say. Anything along Preston Road is expensive real estate, housing or commercial. But this new Target Center or Target Shopping, a place that I avoid like the plague, is right there. And then again, open fields, you know, still off to the backside, you can probably barely see it. There's an Amazon fulfillment center right over there, and we're going to be coming up onto the tollway. This hospital that you can kind of see off to the left is the new Baylor Scott and White Health Hospital campus. Now that's Frisco. So on the south side of 380 here is Frisco. North side is going to be 380, but that's going to be a whole, I mean, that's already open.
part of the hospital. They're still building on more sections of it. It's supposed to be a complete campus for training purposes and things like that as well. And now we're crossing over, or actually under the tollway. You have cuts right here, and that's a movie theater, dine-in movie theater. That's a cool spot. We typically, if we can get a babysitter, we'll go in there and watch a movie from time to time. And then as we cross over, we're coming to Firefly Park. Now I'm really excited about Firefly Park, but it's going to take a couple of years. Now they plan to open, I think, phase 1 in 2026, but you can see they're already putting in the roads. They're starting to put that in, moving a lot of dirt around. The vertical construction is supposed to start in, I think, the first quarter of 2026. We have a Texas Health Hospital off to the right, and you'll just notice everything's brand new here. Everything's brand new. But you'll see the main road that's right in the middle of Firefly Park. That's paved, and so they're going to start going vertical here pretty soon. And the main draw for Firefly Park is going to be 45 acres of it is going to be a major park. So that's going to be really cool. 45-acre park, think about that. But they're also going to have a couple of hotels. The Dream Hotel is going in there, and they're going to have a ton of retail shopping. It's going to become its own little center where you could probably spend the entire day. Restaurants, bars, shopping, everything. And you'll notice here how they're expanding 380. They're starting to put in overpasses on top of it. There's so much happening right here. I'm going to be trying to keep up just talking with y'all. But see, now they're building this overpass over Legacy Drive as we come up here. So this is going to be the service road, but still, we're still hitting to where Firefly Park is going to be probably going to cut off right here around Legacy, and then you're going to cut into Fields, the Fields development in Frisco, which we've talked about that on several videos. So we've covered that quite extensively. North Fields, you'll see when we pass up, they've already got a couple of apartment complexes for multifamily and apartments right there. Those are done and they are leasing. And then they're also going to be building out retail, shops, restaurants. They say Hutchins Barbecue is going in there, which we're really excited about because now I don't have to drive to Frisco or McKinney. It'll be right there. Well, I guess it'll still be Frisco, but it's going to be right at my doorstep, since we live in Prosper. So you can see open field to the right, but Firefly Park, it's, again, I'm really excited about that whole development. And actually, one of my best friends that I grew up with my whole life from the second grade, that's how long we've known each other, from the second grade. At least that's my earliest memory of him. And he's actually the site manager and development manager for Firefly Park. So it's really kind of cool to see that. I went over there the other day and visited with him on that whole development. It's going to be crazy, and he's just doing extremely well. So you can see right off over on the other side of that field is the Omni Resort, the PGA Omni Resort. So you're hitting the border of Fields, and just one street over is the Omni 2 Championship PGA golf courses and the PGA headquarters, which has just been relocated from Florida. But you'll see as we continue down here 380, again, off to the right, more hay bales, more opportunity for development. And then you can see another overpass that is getting put into place over Till Parkway. Now, Till Parkway runs up and crosses First Street, and then also that'll cut over in between parts of Windsong Branch. But you can see they're putting up the overpasses, so these are going to be done pretty soon. They just put in this Chili's, which I could really care less about. You have to let me know. I don't know. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I'm just not a big chain restaurant type of guy. So Chili's, Outback, all that stuff. I don't know. Whenever I first moved to Dallas after the military, I thought I was living large, eating at Chili's. I thought, man, that was the coolest thing, because in Stephenville growing up, we had none of that. So I thought it was the coolest thing to eat at Chili's or to go to Outback, like Outback with Steakhouse. But you can see here now widening everything. They're going to be turning this into 3 lanes as well. We got the Cook Children's, not really a good name for a hospital, right? Cook Children's. More strip malls over off to the left-hand side. You got Muya, Burger, Sushi Box, the Veterinarian, you got Dunkin', you got Orthodontics, Hotworks. If you don't know about Hotworks, everything is inside of a hot box or like a sauna. You can do your biking, your treadmill, any type of exercise you want to do, basically you can do it inside a sauna. Yoga, Pilates, So basically you go in there and just sweat your tail off. Although you could just do that walking outside here in Texas sometimes on top of it. All right, so now we're on Windsong Parkway, and the other direction it goes to Hollyhock Road.
So this is the main entrance for Windsong Ranch off of 380 right here as well. We're not gonna go into Windsong just yet, but we will head over there as we cut back through. But you can even see with this intersection, a lot of traffic right now. The median is completely blocked off. So to get to some of the commercial over here, you got to do a little loop-de-loop because they're putting in another overpass again at Highway 423 or FM Road 423 that we're coming up. But you can see here, this is like the Windsong Shopping Center off to the right as well. So you got Chick-fil-A, very important for a lot of people. You'll see golf carts there. A lot of people take their golf carts to Chick-fil-A, but you can do that because it's technically kind of connected to Windsong. You got Home Depot, all the banks you need, Bank of America, Chase, everything's right here. Chick-fil-A, Panera Bread, you got an Urgent Care, you got McDonald's, Payway over here, Academy Sports, and then they're building a Walmart, another Walmart behind all of this. And Kroger off to the right, so Kroger with a gas station on top of it. And so this is where a lot of people do their grocery shopping, except they just put in an HEB over off of this corner. You got Starbucks, Desi local food, Indian. You definitely got Indian food options around here if you like Indian food. I do. I like Indian food. It's good.
Got an IHOP. There's a Walmart Supercenter right behind there. That's going to be open pretty soon as well. They're kind of finishing that up. And where else do I like to go over here? Oh, the chiropractor, they've got this place called The Joint. So you can go in there and you can pay a monthly fee if you want, and they give you like 4 adjustments a month. So basically go in there every single month and get adjusted. That's pretty cool. I like that. I exercise regularly, do running, CrossFit, that type of stuff. So it's always good to get a little adjustment going in. Yeah, come up here to 423. I'm going to try to bust over. You take a right. Oh, they got Cane's. It's like a Louisiana chicken finger restaurant, CVS. And then again, they just opened up the brand new big old HEB off on that corner of 380 and 423. Now, we're going to turn up 423, and again, you've got all this commercial space here. And by the way, just even a stone's throw away on the other side is Costco. So they just opened up that first Costco in Prosper. I don't know, I'd have to look. It's on the border, I would say, of Prosper and Little Elm. So I don't know what the official address is. So it could be Prosper or Little Elm. I don't know everything all the time. And then inside of here, you got LA Fitness for a good gym, little gym that's pretty inexpensive. And then we got First Watch. They do breakfast, brunch, and lunch. And I think it's time for us to grab a little bite to eat. And we'll stop in here, talk about some more facts and data for the Prosper area, and then we're going to pick up right where we left off on our driving tour. We'll head through Windsong, we'll head through Star Trail, and then talk about the Tollway and all of the development that's happening up there. All right, now we stopped into First Watch. Wait till you see what I ordered. It's amazing. But I wanted to give you a few more updates on like the Gates of Prosper, that commercial development that we passed over. So currently it's in phase 3 construction. That's going to be wrapping up towards the end of this year. And phase 4 is planned as a really kind of a town center. And that's going to be featuring another 288,500 square feet of high-end retail, 84,000 square feet of office space, and about 1,200 multifamily units. So that's going to be pretty significant over in that area. Yeah, they just included an Outback Steakhouse. It's funny, I was just talking about Outback. All right, we got the Outback over there. Nordstrom Rack. I know that's a pretty good spot to find some good deals. You got J. Alexander. The current tenants are going to generate over $200 million in retail sales. That's what they're estimating. And then of course you got Target, Dick's, Texas Roadhouse, and Costco, which is on the other side of us. But also recently opened up the Urban Cookhouse. So farm to table concept. You got Phoky Noodles and Grill. So that's some Vietnamese cuisine.
and then 1902 Restaurant and Mary Ann's Speakeasy taking over the former Prosper Winehouse location. Oh, that's another thing. Probably should just kind of cruise down little historic downtown Prosper, which is really not that big. It's about 2 blocks, two city blocks, and that's about it. And then you got the residential growth, of course. I mean, all the developers, they recognize the spending power here. And of course, with all this commercial development, it means that we have to go to Frisco, or really Frisco, for less and less as they develop more near. Like I said, we got HEBs and Costco's and Walmarts and Targets. So all we need is more of the really good little cool restaurants popping up, boutique restaurants at mom and pop shops. I would prefer. We need a really solid barbecue place as well, because otherwise we can head over to Little Elm and go to Tender, which they have a Tender in Salina. We can go to Frisco or McKinney for Hutchins, but yeah, we need a good barbecue spot in Prosper. So if you're thinking about opening a barbecue spot, bring it on. Oh, and by the way, if we haven't met yet, my name is Levi, and we make videos like this and publish them every single week, sometimes twice a week as well, just for you that are looking to make their move here to the Dallas area. We're the #1 relocation team in all of the North Dallas area. So if you're thinking about that, then make sure you subscribe to the channel, because that way you'll never miss a new video that is keeping you the most up to date on the market today. But if we cover a little bit on the real estate market real quick as well, this is one of the best markets in all of North Dallas. It competes heavily with Frisco and Salina, of course, but right now the current median price is around $840,000. So that's down about 5 to 6% from last year. But again, that could always fluctuate month to month. So just be mindful of whenever that you hear that data or it gets pulled. But also, we're moving into fall right now, and real estate prices always typically drop a little bit in fall. So I wouldn't be too concerned. 5 to 6% is not a major market correction or a crash. And next month could be, it could be up again. But I will tell you this, for us, like October has been our biggest month this year. So we've really seen a lot of people making their move here. But you got to think about everything that's happening here as well. I mean, you got billions in infrastructure investment, all the road improvements, the Tollway extensions as well, which we're going to cover here in just a little bit. I mean, proximity to fields, to the PGA, to Firefly Park. I mean, all of that is right here, and Prosper ISD too. We'll cover Prosper schools here in a little bit, but they just opened up their 4th high school, which is like a massive compound in itself. That's Richland High School for Prosper. It's crazy. So you got Prosper High, you got Rock Hill, you've got Walnut Grove, which opened, just a year or 2 ago, and now Richland. And Richland probably tops them all. I mean, it's crazy what they've done inside there. If you look at most of the real estate experts as well, they're always talking about Prosper. It's going to continue to grow. It's kind of like a boutique community, I would say, in between Frisco and Salina and McKinney. And so it is considered a upscale or even a low luxury market, you could say. So like I said, median price around $840,000. That's higher than Frisco and way higher than Salina as well. But with that being said too, then that means the land is limited inside of Prosper. Like I said, it's like a perfect little rectangle on the map. So once they build out more and more of Prosper, that's going to just become more scarce. And you just have all these great places to hang out now, and easy, simple access to the Tollway, to Frisco, to the lake. You can go to Lake Louisville as well. That's not too far if you love that lake life, which we do. But yeah, as soon as we grab a bite to eat, we'll jump back in the truck and start heading around town again.
All right, now we head north a little bit on 423. It's going to turn into Fish Trap Road. Off to the left-hand side is one of the phases of Windsong Ranch. So you're going to see how massive this place is. That's one of the first phases that went in many, many years ago. We got another phase off to the right that's called Anthem. This one over here is called Crosswater, and some of the first homes that were built inside of Windsong. So we're going to be heading up here and taking a right in just a minute on First Street, which finally they completed First Street. 2 lanes each direction. That place has been a nightmare the last couple of years. Single lanes each way, terrible road. not been helped out in any way probably in the last decade or so. I mean, this is all farmland. 5 to 10 years ago, there was pretty much nothing out here. Now we take a right. We're right in the middle of Windsong Ranch, basically on the west side border, other than that community that's on the other side. Off to the left, you'll see there's over 600 acres inside of Windsong Ranch, just of green space. So all of this green space will not be developed because that's part of the green space of Windsong Ranch. There's a dog park right off to the left-hand side. I actually think they did not a great job on the dog park. I think it could be better, especially with all the space that you have. Nice little pond. I mean, they've got a couple of these ponds scattered throughout. You might be able to see some of the walking trails. Over 30 miles of paved trails that you can walk, bike, ride your scooter, whatever you want to do. We go out there and run a lot, and ran 5 miles this morning out there on the trails. It's just nice because you don't have to worry about any type of traffic. So, I don't really worry about that too much running because you could always run on sidewalks. But I mean, if you're a biker and you want to hit the trails, I mean, not really ideal for speed biking or Ironman biking like Alex and Travis have to do all the time and talk about, Ironman bike. I'm going to ride my bike and I want to look like a stormtrooper and like I'm blasting off in a spaceship. Anyways, yeah, probably not good for that because there's a lot of twists and turns. I guess you probably still need to go out and ride your bike on the road. But mountain biking, that's pretty good. You can definitely do that. You could even go off-road on some of the spots, but Windsong splits off both those ways. That way will take you back down to 380 and the Home Depot. And just on the other side of this is the crystal clear blue lagoon. I mean, Windsong really started that trend of having like your own Caribbean beach, white sandy beach. They actually brought in real white sand, which is amazing. And what I love about that pool is it's not chlorinated. They use a reverse osmosis filtration system that sanitizes the water without chlorine, which is amazing because I'm a little bit more of a non-chemical type of person, so that's the one thing I really hate about pools is the chlorine and the chlorine smell and that chlorine on your skin and all of that. So that's really cool because that blue lagoon is not only is it absolutely beautiful, it's just nice clean water, but you get that sandy beach feel and you don't have to worry about all the chemicals inside of there. So it's really nice. And you can bring drinks. They've got barbecue grills. They've got volleyball court. You can have some sand volleyball there as well. All right, so now we're at the corner of First Street and Till Parkway. Till Parkway, headed down. Once you cross 380, you'll run into the PGA headquarters. We're now at the eastern border of Windsong Ranch. This is pretty much where it ends, although they're building another phase, one of the final phases up this road and off to the right on the other side of Till. But you can see off to the right is the new Richland Prosper High School, and it is massive. I mean, that thing is really something else. Little strip mall off to the side of this place. I mean, it's amazing. Just the football, the tennis courts, the everything they have there. Inside, they've got food courts, coffee shops. I mean, off to the left, you have Artesia. Artesia is one of the more established neighborhoods and master plan communities. Nothing too special going on in there. I mean, of course, they've got the regular amenity center and all that other good stuff. But other than that, it's, no, it's nice. It's nice. We've helped a few families move into there, of course. And you will find some lower pricing in there, so it's pretty cool. You got one of the middle schools, Rushing Middle School right here, and then they just opened up another middle school on the back side of Windsong Ranch. And there's 3 elementary schools inside of Windsong Ranch that if you're in Windsong, your kids will go to one of those 3 schools on top of it. Off to the left here is, good old Rock Creek Church. That's actually where we go to church at, and they are building this new building, which is pretty massive. It's amazing to see because we've been in this smaller building for a couple of years, so it's really cool to see them expanding as well. But yeah, Pastor Brad, shout out to you. I don't even know if he watches the channel, but he should though, right? He should. We're actually responsible for probably moving half of the congregation to that church. Every Sunday I get stopped and somebody's like, yeah, hey, love your videos. You're the reason we moved. I know we've helped move half the people into Windsong Ranch, many into Artesia. Actually, we're about to go into Star Trail as well. So that'll be interesting. Now they just completed this intersection, which is Legacy, and Legacy Drive is another very popular roadway, especially running through Frisco. Lots of good stuff on Legacy running through Frisco, but this whole intersection, this was a complete mess for the last year. And up ahead, they're developing more commercial, I believe. I haven't really looked into too much what they're building up there right now. But we are sitting at the corner of First and Legacy. A Star Trail is diagonal to us in the northeast corner. We're going to cruise through there a little bit, and you can just kind of see what's going on in there. So you can still get in Windsong Ranch. As I mentioned, they're doing one of the final phases right now as well. So there's still some brand new construction, and even on the older side of Windsong, they're still building out and finishing out a couple of those phases. So you still got a good choice of homes like Southgate or Normandy, Coventry. There are some of the builders that you could still get in with there. And also here on Legacy, they've completed this into 2 lanes going each side, which before that wasn't the case, but actually going up whenever you hit Salina up here, it turns back into 1 lane, but they're doing so much development on that end as well. So we're going to kind of just cruise through Star Trail just a little bit. We're going to come out on the other side, and they really kind of created a little bit of a luxury experience here without the gates. And so you've got some of the high end, but you still got some affordable pricing in here, starting around the 700s over to 1.5 million. I mean, Windsong probably going to be around 850 minimum. You might find something in the mid 7s. Maybe it's going to be on the smaller side. Whenever I say smaller side, I mean like 3,000 or 3,500 square feet. I don't think many homes in Windsong go less than 3,500 square feet. So most of them are good size in there. And you'll see, again, Star Trail just pretty well established. Regular homes throughout here. You've got Highland as a builder. You've got Toll Brothers, Coventry, American Legend, Britain Homes. They got 55, 65, 75 foot lots running through here. There's still a couple of build opportunities throughout, but otherwise mostly going to be established areas and neighborhoods. They've got a 5,800 square foot clubhouse here, outdoor entertainment. You're going to see some of the Halloween decorations out. We're in October right now. By the way, it's like 80 degrees, and this is my favorite time to be in Texas, is the fall and spring, because we get like 3 to 4 months of just absolutely perfect weather. So for me, that's a big deal, because literally 8 months of the year, I think you get really, really great weather. And then you got 3 months in the summer that's pretty brutal. And then you have 1 to 1.5 to maybe 2 months in the winter that is not fun. Not fun at all, because it's a different type of cold here. It's not like northern cold. Like, I've lived in New York and Chicago and Pittsburgh actually, and 30 degrees there is not too bad. Well, Chicago actually sucks because of the wind. The wind in Chicago, by the way, is something I've never experienced in my life. I mean, that is unbelievable. The wind in Chicago, especially downtown, coming off that lake. It's crazy. But look at this. Nice little playground areas. You got the kids out there hanging out. Some of these parkside homes. Got the nice, you got some good jumble gyms. Actually, yeah, that's a lot better than Windsong Ranch. Tennis courts over here. They got a really nice amenity center. Britain, yeah, that's a really nice model home, that Britain home right there. And you can kind of see, I'll just pull through here, get a look at that amenity center. That's pretty nice. I will say the one in Windsong's a little lacking for that community. I mean, it's got a little tiny cafe inside of there, and the gym, I don't think the gym's that great. It's pretty small. I think Star Trail actually has the better amenity center, but Windsong has the Lagoon and all the green space and the trails. I mean, they've got some trails in here too, just not as much as Windsong. So again, it's just one of those things that, give or take, like, what are you looking for exactly? And you're going to be a little bit higher on the price range. In Windsong, you can go up to 2 million, even 2.5 million in Windsong. Here, you're going to cap out around 1.5, maybe 1.7. And we just got a listing here in Star Trail for 1.6. So looking forward to selling that pretty soon. We actually just helped a couple close on a $1.6 million house yesterday. That was really nice, coming from Canada. All right, now we're coming up onto the part of the border of Star Trail 2, which is Prosper Trail. Now, Prosper Trail, this is really interesting because, and you'll see like the water features they have for Star Trail as well. Probably a little catch and release ponds. A lot of commercial over here. So a ton of office spaces that'll be for doctors and more doctors. That's typically what those office spaces are for. And then right up here, so if you decide to move into Star Trail, you're going to be in luck because you'll be in walking distance to the Prosper Arts District, which is going to go in this section just north here of Prosper Trail. This whole section right here is going to become the new Prosper Arts District. And that's something I'm pretty excited about, but that's probably, you know, a little ways out as far as what's going on there. But it's going to be 35 acres of mixed use development, and they want to develop kind of like this walkable downtown core. They've got $300 million project, and it's going to be built out in about 4 phases over the next 5 years. So yeah, we got to wait 5 years for the completion of it, but you're going to have free hotels, you got a sports focused and wedding venue, you got over 500 multifamily units, a lot of retail, like a little retail village with boutique stores. And they're really going to try to avoid any big box. So they really want boutique, local, mom and pop, which I really like that. And then it's going to have 24 different art installations inside of it as well. So a Prosper Arts District, right? Clearly, I think a coffee shop, which I'm probably most excited about, but a lot going on. And they're going to have a water feature because there's kind of like a natural creek that runs through there. And I'm going to make a little loop around the tollway, and you have this, the Dallas North Tollway Extension. So they're extending this now a 13-mile stretch all the way up through Salina because the tollway currently ends on First Street back that way. But coming up here, you can see what they're going. This is going to be over the next several years as they develop this out as well. But again, once this tollway is complete, all of this property is going to skyrocket around here. I think homes, these fields, I mean, all this is going to turn into commercial development. I can almost promise you that as well. But all of this, I mean, look at the amount of construction they're doing to extend this tollway. And they're going to charge you for it. So, yay. More tolls. But you can still see a lot of field on the other side, field on this side. And then we run up and hit another HEB. Now this is pretty interesting. They're starting to develop out this retail section of the corner here on Frontier Parkway is what we're coming up on. Frontier Parkway and the tollway, another massive HEB. Actually, let's just go cruise by there. You can kind of see, give you up close and personal of the old HEB. What is all of this? Let's see. Look, I try to do absolutely no shopping whatsoever, so at least in person. They got like 50 stations for you to pick up your order, and pharmacy you can pull up, and actually looks like they've got little call boxes. You just pull up there and, I don't know, type in your stuff and they're gonna give it to you. Man, you got flowers. Look at that, flowers over here. Actually, I've been to HEB once or twice for their wine selection. They got some good wines in there, but man, look at all the beautiful flowers. The Texas backyard. Yeah, watch out for these kids. These kids on these e-bikes and scooters and everything else around here, it's crazy. And they all have, it's like they're like little motorcycle gangs. But look at this, you got the barbecue on this side. The ones in Austin, I don't know if they've put in the bars and the live music here. I haven't explored them that extensively, but the HEBs in Austin, maybe that's an Austin thing, has the bars and like live bands on Friday night or Saturday. Can you imagine being like, hey boys, we got the gig at HEB. Let's go. I would think that's where my music career might be coming to an end at that point. But you can just see, I mean, it's a massive store. It's massive. And then they put in a McDonald's, and we're going to take a right back onto Frontier Parkway. And on the right, again, on the right, massive open field, more development to come. And then you can see off in the distance a little bit, that is Prosper High School. And that's the stadium is what you're seeing, which is massive. Off to the left, more retail shops that have just opened up. They all completely filled out. Oh, by the way, Abbott's Custard. That's a great milkshakes right there if you want to do that. You've got Frontier Park off to the right. This is a pretty cool area. Really good playground for the kiddos. You got a little splash pad going on, so you can see here. Yep, full park covered. That's really great for this Texas heat in the summertime. Covered area. They've got like regular kids, and then they even have like a little tiny toddler section that is more friendly for them to play on. Walking trails all paved. Pavilion, looks like somebody's doing a birthday party out there right now. Little walking bridge, baseball fields, you know, everything. This is all part of the public park here for Prosper. This is the main one, the big one, Frontier Park. And then, boom, look at that. That's what we're talking about. Friday night lights right there. Let me just pull in there, give you some context on these stadiums. Driving in here, so massive. But football in Texas, it's the real deal. Friday night lights. This place on Friday night is packed. They got cops directing traffic. I mean, it's pretty much same as a college game almost. So, I mean, this is like a 30,000 person stadium. Pretty big. You got to get your tickets. I mean, bring your date here. Whatever you gotta do, but it's a good time. And then the park, like I said, you can walk, ride your bike, ride your scooters, ride your Surons. That's what they're called, by the way. Surons, those little e-bikes. And again, there's Abbott's directly across there. Abbott's custard, which is, man, I get their peanut butter milkshake. It's amazing. Cilantro, we tried there too. That's a good little spot. So they're good. They're popping up some little spots here and there for you to try out. I mean, they're popping up everywhere. And actually, I go to a CrossFit gym over here, almost under the bridge in those warehouse buildings right there. And this is where I go to CrossFit. Now we hit the overpass and we're going to be heading back towards Preston Road. Then you head over this overpass and you can see Prosper High off to the right. Massive. More of it just keeps going on. They won a few state championships. And of course, Prosper, I mean, it's got a rating from niche.com, from Texas Education Agency. They've got a 99.1% graduation rate. That's pretty good. So it's growing pretty fast. 4 campuses, as I mentioned earlier. They've got Jana Thompson Elementary and Vergie Witt, I think, elementary, yeah, and Pete Mosley Middle and Richland High. And so it's like 27 campuses, over 28,000 students within Prosper High right now. So all the A ratings everywhere. I think average SAT scores are well over 1,000. And they're doing quite a bit of investment into the programs in the school. I think they just read they're spending about $14 million on renovations on some of the schools just to be able to bring some more programs. Then you see over off to the left, again, more building for the commercial, and off to the right, more field. So again, and look, all of this, everything's brand new here. Everything, except for old historic downtown, which we should probably wrap up there. All right, now we're going south on Preston Road from Frontier Parkway. Again, more commercial, more buildings in between that. But otherwise, all this commercial, brand new, lots of really old growth trees around here. Spices it up. Leaves won't start to turn until probably usually December. December is like our official fall, and that's whenever the leaves change. And some of them, a couple of the trees here or there right now, but yeah, it's going to take another month or two. So it just depends. It's funny, we had this Canadian couple that moved here. We closed on their house a couple of days ago. They said, "So what's Christmas like here?" And I said, "Well, you're either going to be in t-shirt and shorts, or it's probably going to be snowing." It's like one or the other. But typically 4 out of 5 years, t-shirt and shorts, and then 1 year it'll snow. So it just depends. I think this winter is going to be a little bit warmer. But as we cruise south now on Preston Road, again, like I mentioned, we just kind of hit a rectangle, so to speak. And you can see all the commercial up here. You got Chase Bank, Bank of America, another gas station, another community off to the left. You've got the car washes. Plenty of car washes here around here, by the way, which you need for all the sunshine. All right, now we're heading down Broadway from Preston Road. You're going to see more commercial off to the left, all the little office buildings for doctors and beauty and insurance and all that other good stuff. You can kind of see off in the distance the silos. So the silos are, they're not a staple of downtown Prosper yet, but they might turn that into something. Some of that land is for sale, but you'll notice, yeah, we kind of hit a few little dips here and there. We got a little bit of an elevation change here, which is pretty nice. Nice little water feature. But as we head down Broadway, this is kind of like the main street that's going to run right into historic downtown. And a couple of these old homes have been turned into commercial, so they're commercial offices. We got doctors' offices, salons, yada yada. And then here is 1418 Coffee. I believe this was their first location. it's always packed. And if I didn't have my coffee from La Finca, we'd probably go in there and get one. But it's a good little spot, always busy. We got some good little snacks and sandwiches in there too if you want to grab a bite to eat. And as soon as we cross over Coleman Street now, we're in historic downtown Prosper, which is pretty much these 2 blocks. So not much. There's one little lot for sale. We've got little boutique clothing shops. We've got the Cotton Gin, which is probably one of the most popular restaurants down here. One of the staples of Prosper is the Cotton Gin. Good little bar. They've got a pretty big back area. They got a huge big screen back there, watch the game. And then this is where the old wine store was, and now that new restaurant's going to be going in there, so should be interesting to see that. Looks like they're beautifying that section, and then this is kind of like the new section that they've made it to look a little old, which is nice. For Prosper, they got the Tavern on Broadway. That's a good little spot. Bar, restaurant, watch the games. Rustic Warehouse for furniture, home decor. A lot of people like that spot. And then you have Black Hawk Brewery on the end. They've got a really cool rooftop deck. I've been there a few times. I really like it. They got some good craft beers there. But yeah, you can watch the sunset on the deck. If you get over there, lots of apartments on the backside, and then you got the silos. I imagine someone might turn these silos into a little tourist destination at some point, but there you have it. I mean, that's pretty much Prosper in a nutshell. And again, if you're thinking about making that move here, all of my information is in the description or on the screen. My business partner, Travis, the team, we'd love to help you make a very smooth move to the Prosper or North Dallas area. And you should also check out this video coming up because it's going to give you everything you need to know on fields if you're interested in learning about that. And until next time, well, we hope to show you around town. Maybe even give you a ride in the truck. We'll see.